Welcome back. It's time for coins. Today, we will be taking a look at the Mayflower 2-pound coin from the Royal Mint in the UK. And this is one of my favorite designs from the Royal Mint. And it has the Mayflower right there. 1620 was when it sailed in September, and it got there in December. And then it's 2020 is when the coin was produced. So 400 years after it sailed. And it's just a really beautiful coin. It has the ship on it, has a star there. Very well designed. And I think it's interesting that they actually made this coin in the UK, because this is more of a history for America. And for Americans, it means a lot more. And so it's kind of cool that they actually did it. I'm gonna go back to the back before I get into the art and the information here. And that is a 2-pound coin, United Kingdom. Cooper nickel is the alloy, with a nickel brass on the outer side. The weight is 12 grams. Diameter is 28.4 millimeters. Edge description is undertaken for the glory of God, and the quality is brilliant, uncirculated. Obverse design, Jody Clark. Reverse design is Chris Costello. And I wanted to read this part first because I think this is a little bit important for the coin. It says, the story of the Mayflower is one that many Americans see as a cornerstone of their country's ideological structure. Seeking a new life away from religious persecution, the men and women of the Mayflower endured rough seas, harsh weather, illness, and tragedy to build a new life in the New World. The Royal Mint commemorates the 400th anniversary, the beginning of their story, the voyage of the Mayflower. I think this one was originally part of the 2020 annual set also, which I do not have. So, this is the back of the coin. Actually, sorry, the front of the coin. The back of the coin is this one. Okay. So, yeah, so there's 2-pound coin there, Queen Elizabeth on it. And so this right here is the map, and it has the planned route that they wanted to take and the actual route that goes here. So this is really cool. Like, they have like a lot of information, a lot of artwork about it. So that's why I really like these bunk packs. It says, the Mayflower. The voyage of the Mayflower was anything but easy. A series of frustrating delays and false starts, including leaving behind a companion ship. The Mayflower set sail in September of 1620. Beset by winter storms, tragedies, and bad luck, the Pilgrims didn't finally arrive in what is now Plymouth until December 26, 1620. A journey of faith. The impetus for the Mayflower voyage can be found in the English Reformation, when the Church of England broke from the Roman Catholic Church. This sparked the separatist movement, which felt the Church of England had not gone far enough. Roughly half of the passengers of the Mayflower were born of this movement, seeking to distance themselves physically, ideologically from the Pope. They referred to themselves as saints, the crew and the passengers known as strangers. The latter were largely tradesmen who would prove vital in building the new life in the New World. So that's really, really cool art right here with the Mayflower right there, and the crew in the little small boats, getting ready to leave England. Looks like there's a castle in the back there, or a tower. one has the ship on the rough seas of the ocean. A voyage to the New World. The Mayflower, along with the Speedwell, was supposed to have set sail for the New World in the summer of 1620, but didn't actually get fully underway alone until mid-September. This late departure saw it running headlong into winter storms that slowed and tossed the ship so violently that many passengers were unable to stand from seasickness. One person was swept overboard, but there was some joy. A child was born on the ship, appropriately named Oceana, a lost companion. The story of the Mayflower is heavy with should-have moments. The voyage should have taken roughly 6 weeks. It should have seen pilgrims establishing a home in Northern Virginia, which at the time extended into modern-day New York. But perhaps the biggest should have is the story we're now telling. Should have been the Mayflower and the Speedwell. A second ship had been commissioned to transport most of the saints from the Netherlands, but consistent leaks resulted in it being left behind and sold. Passengers from both ships had to squeeze into one, and some chose simply to stay. The Mayflower Compact. Within the cold and crowded hull of a cargo ship more accustomed to hauling wine or wool, and more than 140 years before Jane Jacques Rousseau gave name to the idea, a social contract was made between the ship's passengers. The compact, signed by 41 men on board, was an agreement to cooperate on a level that was rare from the time. It bound the colonists to majority rule, with the colony's governance decided by democratic vote. Start of democracy. And here's a little bit about the designer of the coin. And he was from Boston, so he's an American designer. For more than 30 years, Chris Costello lived in Boston, Massachusetts, a city tied to numerous significant moments and figures of American history, and a stone throw from Plymouth. It is in Plymouth, of course, that the pilgrims of the Mayflower ultimately settled. Chris sought to use this rich historical context in creating his design, but confesses that a certain amount of imagination was required. There is a bit of mythical interpretation of the Mayflower story. Since nobody really knows what the ship actually looked like, I wanted to create a romantic view with stylish waves that contrasted with the precarious position of the ship in rough seas, thus making an iconic and memorable design, a contemporary coin with subtle traditional beauty that both Britons and Americans would appreciate and want to own as a keepsake in memory of this historic event. And I think he did an awesome job capturing it. So yeah, looks very, very, very good. So it was really cool to kind of read this, learn a little bit of history, and yeah, it's just a great coin to have for as a collector piece. And I would say definitely, if you're American, you should definitely try to find this thing. I mean, you can't get it from the Royal Mint anymore, but you can probably find it on eBay, possibly in your local shops. But I found that it's really hard to find any of these things here in my local shop. But I think maybe if you were in Boston or on the East Coast, it might be a little bit more, a little bit easier possibly. Yeah, these are definitely really cool. Well, with that, I just want to thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you in the next video, and have a good day. Bye.